Hey everyone, I'm Jordan with Upscale Audio, and today I need to make a confession. I actually took home these speakers without letting my direct manager know, just so I can make this in-depth overview for you guys. So, sorry Ken, but let's get into the video. I have the Monitor Audio Studio 89s with me here. Now, Monitor Audio was founded in a small town or nearby Cambridge, England, back in 1972, and they make fantastic products modern day as they did back then. The Studio 89s are some gorgeous speakers, to say the least. I mean, look at their front design. I absolutely love this copper color that they're using as their accent piece, sitting on this high gloss black cabinet. Going into the technology, we will see that these speakers are what's called an MTM speaker array. Now we have our mid, tweeter, mid, MTM. Now we do have their RDT III drivers sitting as our top and bottom, and their MPD III sitting as our tweeter. Now, what that means is that they use their C-CAM technology for their drivers, allowing these to be rigid, but still lightweight and fast. And I mean, they definitely do provide a punch, in particular in the mids. Looking at our highs, we do have a ribbon, folded ribbon tweeter used as our tweeter. Now that can add a breath of fresh air to those that have used mostly either silk dome tweeters or a titanium or magnesium design, which I've been using at home. And I absolutely loved spending my month with these guys. So let's get into what did I experience basically for the last month. Getting into my experience with these, I had paired them up with quite a few different integrated or receivers, I should say. So I use these with a Denon, Pioneer, and even a Prima Luna Evo 300 hybrid. And on each system, they sounded phenomenal. What I've learned for these speakers is that you do need a sufficient or clean power source in order to drive them. Talking about the cabinet design and how they integrated into my life, I had to set these up in a medium-sized room that's the size of my room at home, and they were extremely easy to place in the room. The reason being is going to be that they have this very sleek and thin cabinet design, which makes the speakers disappear into the room. Besides that, these are rear ported, so they do have two slip ports on the top and the bottom of the cabinets, and that definitely does help out with the bass, and I'll touch more about bass in just a moment. I did use these, like I said, for a month, and I had an amazing time using them for a mixture of music as well as home theater. Talking on home theater just really quickly, great, 100%. I would highly recommend these. They focus primarily within the mid section, so you'll find a lot of your dynamic effects to come through punchier and faster compared to some other speakers that I've used previously. But for the most part, great. Use them as your left-right channel, use them as your surrounds if you'd like, but yeah, these guys, phenomenal for home theater. Getting into what we're here to focus on, which is music listening. Now, my favorite pairing with these, of course, is going to be the Prima Luna, as it's the most expensive out of everything that I've used, but these things shine through like no other. I use a variety of different tracks to listen to, such as Man in the Long Black Coat, James Blake, Limit to Your Love, as well as some Queen music, which that's one of my favorite bands, and I've almost never heard Queen sound better than I heard it with these. Starting off with Man in the Long Black Coat. If you've heard that song, like me, hundreds of times, maybe even thousands at this point, you'll notice that the high frequency pitch at the very beginning of the song that represents the crickets within the song comes through very soft but present still. So these ribbon tweeters are definitely doing their job and producing these phenomenal high-end frequency, high-range frequency, but still make them a little bit more supple and subtle to listen to within a system, which was, like, again, a huge change for me at my house. Now, moving into James Blake, Limit to Your Love, these speakers absolutely shined in the mid and high frequencies. That song is very dynamic, and the soundstage on it can be huge depending upon the gear that you're using, and my goodness, listening to some of the effects within that track, you can hear them switch left to right, and it almost feels like they come off of the speaker by quite a few feet. As we move down into the sub-bass or into the bass frequencies, these speakers can be more than enough for a smaller set room. As we move up into a larger room, I could see a potential upgrade for these to be adding on a subwoofer such as the REL T7 or potentially a T9 in order to fill out the entire frequency range and pressurize the room appropriately. Now, My favorite track that I got to listen to on these speakers is actually one of my personal favorites in general. Queen, Play the Game. That song is phenomenal if you haven't heard it, and if you had, give it a listen again. The opening of that song sounds like the pressure and air is being sucked into the speakers, and I almost never heard it sound the way I did with these. It gave a huge presence. It felt like I was almost being sucked in and listening to the song itself. These guys, great. I absolutely love them, and I could always highly suggest them for anybody that's looking to upgrade into this price range, which these speakers do come around $2,500 for the pair. There is a matching stand that can be added onto them. Unfortunately, I don't have it here with me today, but I still have these two beautiful pieces of art right next to me. Now, that's going to wrap it up for me today here at Upscale Audio. Please leave a comment down below. Let us know what do you think about these speakers or monitor audio in general, as well as leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. You might see me with some of my cohorts such as Kevin or Jake, and we love making videos for you guys here. So here at Upscale Audio, we're going to treat your system like it's ours.